Hey everybody, this is Marcus. We're going to break down James Gunn's new DCU lineup, and this is basically just the 8 to 10 year plan that he actually talked about in his video for DC Studios. Although there's only one particular film that's actually going to be coming around the corner, which is basically in 2 years, and that's Superman Legacy. So I'll break everything down, talk about the future films, what they could actually mean, and how this actually is going to be the most exciting that we can actually see in the DCU, and this is definitely must needed for sure. So I'll get into all this and more, but before I get started, thank you guys so much for your support. And for those who are new to my channel, can you do me a solid? Make sure you like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications whenever I drop a video. And we're going to always keep this thing rolling, you guys. Thank y'all so much for your feedback and for your support, especially for the people who've subscribed and gave me feedback. Y'all mean a lot to me. Thank y'all so much. You guys are in for a treat. So let's go ahead and break this down. So as you guys have already known and seen my video yesterday, even previously, discussing what I thought about James Gunn's recent relaunch of the new DCU project. It's really great, other than the fact that about the couple of the recasts like Henry Cavill and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that was only just that particular flatback that he received. But the rest of the build-up that he actually has so far is actually really good. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about this too. I actually got the article from Polygon.com, and I got the list right here as well. So we're actually going to gauge off of both of these too. So as I mentioned, the reboot, which is actually going to serve as a reboot, it's going to be Superman Legacy. And that's not coming out until the summer of 2025. And the date is actually July 21st of 2025. So he actually is currently writing the script, which is what he was talking about in his video, that he was currently writing the script for Superman Legacy. But the hype around this is he hasn't announced who's going to be the lead character for Clark Kent. This actually is going to serve as a reboot. And again, unfortunately, Henry Cavill is not going to reprise his role as Superman. So anything that's related to the Snyderverse is not going to be there. This is strictly James Gunn and his new vision for DC Studios. So it's not going to be plutonic, but it's definitely going to be the exact vision that he actually has for the new vision that he has for the new DCU. So Superman Legacy is going to focus on Clark Kent and how he discovered his origins of being an extraterrestrial, his home planet of Krypton. He was raised with Jonathan and Martha Kent. They're going to talk about his Earth upbringing, and then they're more than likely going to talk about, of course, him being a reporter for the Daily Planet. So that's practically just what the title is right now. So we're not going to know in full detail within the close amount of time when Superman's Legacy is going to show up. So January, actually, like I said, July 21st is going to be the release date for Superman Legacy. That's actually what we got so far, though. It'd be cool if it was January, but July, around the time they actually have the summer movies coming around, that pretty much makes sense though. Also, we also have The Authority. This is actually one of James Gunn's projects that he was working on, his pet peeve project actually, one of his favorites. And The Authority is actually part of the Wildstorm imprint. Of course, Wildstorm used to be an independent comic series, independent comic franchise, and they're known for not only producing The Authority, but also Wildcats, which stands for Converged Action Team. And I actually have the first issue of Wildcats right here. Of course, this is just Spartan, who's the leader of the Wildcats. That's Grifter, and then that's Voodoo right there, and then there's Warblade, Malls in the background, and then of course we also have Velvet as well though. So again, this is actually the original lineup. And then also we have Void, and Jacob Marlowe should be, there he is, right there, right in front of Voodoo. I was looking for him too though, but this is just basically just the entire roster of the original Wildcats. So again, you got Zealot, Grifter, Spartan, Warblade, Void, Voodoo, and Jacob Marlowe. Jacob Marlowe is pretty much like the businessman who handles all the missions for the Wildcats. So again, this is basically used to be an independent print for Wildstorm, and then on top of that, Jim Lee did the art for this as well. And as a matter of fact, this actually has an issue where Cyclops and Jean Grey made a cameo, so that was actually pretty cool too. So imagine having a Wildcats X-Men crossover in the 90s. That would have been pretty sick too, but this is actually pretty cool too though. But other than that, Wildcats is one of my favorite series. The animated series is pretty good, even though it was short-lived, but it was awesome too at the same time. But again, the Authority is part of the it's actually part of the Wildstorm imprint as well. So it's basically dealing with a group of 7 heroes with very high concept of superpowers. For example, we have one in Jack Hawksmere. He's physically bonded to cities, which is actually pretty cool. Imagine being bonded to buildings. So, and then also that's where he draws his strength from too. So that's where he gets his super strength from. So we'll know more about the characters, especially when time comes around, when they actually get ready to do the Authority. But it's going to be pretty cool too, to say the least though. So, and then we also have Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Everybody's been excited about this too, because we finally get a chance to see a Robin in the DCU films this time too though. So it's going to be Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, which also makes Ra's al Ghul his grandfather. So this is going to be pretty awesome. Damian Wayne is actually one of my favorite Robins too. I like Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and if we want to talk about the future Robin, Carrie Kelly's pretty awesome too. So there's a lot of cool Robins too though. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. This is definitely from the Silver Age. Batman, Brave and the Bold. It's about 15 years later. It's inspired by Grant Morrison, who wrote the book. It's also an animated series called Batman, the Brave and the Bold. That's a good series too. So I'm definitely excited that we actually get a chance to see a Robin this time. We haven't actually got like a really decent Robin, not since Chris O'Donnell played Robin in the 90s though. And then of course, we pretty much have like several other Robins. Of course, Burt Ward, who played the previous Robin from the 1960s campy Batman. So, but besides the point, that's pretty much it though. We also have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. This is actually based on Tom King's award-winning comic stories. It actually presents Supergirl in a different light that viewers don't typically see. And I know they're not going to cast Melissa Benoit because she plays the Supergirl in the Arrowverse. So that's not going to pretty much be tied into the DC Studios film. So casting in that hasn't been announced just yet. But when it does, I'll definitely report that to you guys, to let you guys know. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Supergirl. Of course, she's one of my favorite heroes as well, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. Swamp Thing is another one as well. His first appearance was in 1971's House of Secrets, issue 92. There's been 2 movies from the 1980s, which was directed by Wes Craven. Wes Craven has done several horror films. And then there's been 3 seasons of the Swamp Thing series from 1990 to 1993. As a matter of fact, the Swamp Thing series from the 90s, definitely really good. I think it was actually a great depiction of the swamp creature, of course, whose real name is Alec Holland. He was a scientist that was exposed to swamp particles. He becomes Swamp Thing, basically. He has a connection with the green, and which allows him to have connection to plant life. And that's the reason why he's a pretty cool character. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing James Gunn's interpretation of Swamp Thing, definitely from the comics. And I do want to point this out too. I like the fact that James is actually mentioning all of the comic book artists who basically got all the credit for writing all these stories. So I'm definitely excited that he's actually mentioning all the comic artists for sure. I mean, if you think about it too, Marvel Studios do that too. Like in all the end credits, they always mention like the comic artists from the credit scenes. So they need to get recognition as well though, because they're the reason why we have these films in the first place though. Because if you look at the directors and actors who are true fans of the original lore, that's where they actually get that from though. So it definitely warms the hearts of fans when they actually stick to the original source though. Now, that actually concludes the DC movies right now. Especially with Superman Legacy, The Authority, The Brave and the Bold, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and Swamp Thing. Now we're going to the TV show. So we got Creature Commandos, So it's another tie-in as well. Basically for Creatures and Commandos, it's going to be pegged 7 episodes. It's already been pegged for 7 episodes already. Amanda Waller, who's the director of Suicide Squad, is going to form another super team out of monstrous prisoners. And so Amanda Waller is going to be reprised by Viola Davis. And speaking of Viola Davis, she's going to reprise her role as Amanda Waller in the new series Waller, where she basically have like a feature film for that. And then on top of that, the feature is going to be Team Peacemaker, and it's actually going to be written by Watchmen's Crystal Henry and Supernatural's Jeremy Carver. So you know that's going to be pretty cool when you get Supernatural's Jeremy Carver on the team. So it's definitely going to be awesome, to say the least, though. So, and then we got Booster Gold. Booster Gold is actually comics relief. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Booster Gold. He's actually one of my favorite heroes. As a matter of fact, the origin of Booster Gold is actually pretty substantial, but basically in that, it's just a superhero who basically comes from the future. He's actually a comic relief character. He's basically tries to have good intentions, but his real name is Michael John Carter. So he actually has a robot partner called Skeets. So basically, they come to the future, from the future to the present day, to become a superhero. And then on top of that, basically, that's practically it. He's kind of like what James Gunn calls like Patrick syndrome and everything like that, though. So that's pretty much what he has. But he's basically the comic relief of the team. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him being portrayed pretty well as well. Of course, the last time we actually did see Booster Gold in live action format was actually Smallville. The character was played by Eric Maltsoff. So he actually appeared in the 7th season of Smallville. So that's pretty much it, though. That was when Clark Kent, Tom Welling, was going by the Blur at the time. So again, Skeets was actually hit on his wristwatch. Instead, he actually had like a cell phone device that's kind of similar, which is called Skeets. But more than likely, they're going to have like a mobile robot device kind of similar to R2-D2 in Star Wars, and practically have Skeets being just like that, though. So I'm looking forward to seeing Booster Gold. Again, one of my favorite characters in the DC Comics lore. And then we also have Lanterns. Lanterns is actually going to serve as another project as well. Hal Jordan, Silver Age Hal Jordan, and Jon Stewart's first appearance in the comics in 1971. They're going to be like a buddy cop tag team because the Green Lantern Corps is basically an intergalactic space patrol police anyway. So Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, they're both one of the most popular Green Lanterns pretty much in our modern history. And they're pretty much more, I guess you could pretty much say that they're pretty much the most requested Green Lanterns for sure. But basically, in the new Lantern TV series, it's pretty much going to be just like a detective series, kind of similar to like Law and Order, but dealing with intergalactic threats though. So basically, with this TV event series, it's going to focus on 2 unraveling a dark mystery. So that's what the Lanterns is going to focus on. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the Lanterns as well, that we finally get a chance to see the Lanterns portrayed properly in the DCU. We kind of saw a glimpse of the Lanterns in the flashback in the Snyder Cut Justice League. So now we get a chance to see the Lanterns in full form for sure, though. So I'm definitely looking forward to this as well, though, you guys. So, but all in all, this is pretty much what we have so far. And then we got Paradise Lost. James actually said it's going to be like the Game of Thrones because it's just going to focus on Themyscira, of course, the island where women basically reign. So it's definitely going to talk about Wonder Woman's history. Now, whether if they have a cast who's going to have or going to play Diana, that remains to be seen. So we're not quite for sure if Diana is going to actually be in this film, or if Wonder Woman herself is going to be in this as well, though. But we do know it's going to focus heavily on the Amazon culture. So chances are we could have Hippolyta, maybe Artemis, maybe several of the other Amazons who are going to be there as well. It just kind of depends upon how the story is going to be written, how it's going to be told, though. But that's actually one of the lists that's going to be in the new DCU lineup, though. So, but other than that, you guys, this should be really good. And then, of course, we have to also think about the fact that this year we do have the next 4 films pretty much are coming out that are pretty much based on the Snyderverse. For example, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. We got the Flashpoint, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. So that's basically just 3 I just named, not 4 in particular though. Just those 3 so far. So basically we just got Shazam! Fury of the Gods, the Flashpoint, and then we got Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. That's pretty much it. So whether if Jason Momoa is going to continue, now Jason actually did say he will always be Aquaman. So whether he's going to be in the new DCU to play Aquaman or to play Lobo, he could probably do both. That's what he actually just said too, that he could do both. So other than that, that's pretty much be it. Now Ezra's future kind of remains to be seen if he's going to continue being the Flash or not, despite what's going on personally or the different troubles he's been in. That's pretty much it. But if you think about it like this, though, you guys, especially in the comics, in the Flashpoint, that's basically how the Flash restarted the whole universe, which is what created the New 52. The New 52 basically had a new universe, different heroes, same heroes, but in different scenarios. So that's pretty much what it all boils down to, that the Flashpoint is going to serve as a reboot of sorts. So if it's going to conclude Flashpoint being the final Snyderverse trilogy, then that's where the new DCU is going to basically kick off. Now, I want to point this out too. Now, in Archie Comics, Sonic the Hedgehog did the exact same thing. It was actually in Sonic issue 252, which is actually a callback to the New 52. Sonic actually restarted the entire universe after we teamed up with Mega Man and his friends in an awesome crossover called Worlds Collide. But what had happened behind the scenes, though, was that Ken Panders sued Sega because Sega actually used his characters that he created to put in their video game. And so, of all the awesome characters we actually did see, like the awesome Echidnas, for example, like Knuckles' family, Locke, or Scourge the Hedgehog, and several other characters that were created by Ken Panders, we haven't even seen them in the recent Sega story arc, though. So, but because of that, and this pretty much the ridiculous lawsuit, that's practically what happened. Ken Panders won. But I actually do see it from his side, is the fact that that's actually his creations. But on the fan side, it's like you got rid of all these awesome characters that could have actually appeared in the Sega universe, and they were all tied in together as far as like being in both the Sega universe and the games as well. It would have been awesome for sure, though. And I've actually been to court cases to where you see lawsuits happening, and it's not really fun, especially when the plaintiff pretty much doesn't win the court case at all, though. So, but other than that, that's just a prime example of how the New 52 pretty much will start for sure, though. Now, as far as everything else goes, the films, they look really awesome so far. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them all. Everything from the DC movies, the DCU TV shows, they're definitely going to be great too. So, but the lineup is really great. But like I said, the earliest one that they're going to work on, especially on James Gunn's side, is going to be Superman Legacy. And again, that's not going to come out until July 21st of 2025. So that's basically just another 2 years from now where we actually will see at least the first glimpse of the new DCU. So as much as I really want Henry Cavill to show up and play Superman, that's not going to happen. He's out. So depending on who's the new actor going to be, hopefully he can pretty much have the different persona as Henry Cavill. They'll have like a little bit of a nostalgia like. So hopefully he can have a cross between Henry Cavill and Christopher Reeves. So, and even though I really do want Henry to come back, but that's not going to happen though. So, but other than that, whoever James gets, once he finishes with the script, it should be pretty epic though. So hopefully that'll happen. So I am looking forward to Waller as well. And like I said, Amanda Waller is basically Oprah Winfrey if Oprah Winfrey turned heel. And again, I love Oprah Winfrey. She's one of my favorites. She's actually a great person too. So she's definitely one of my favorite women for sure. So it's all due respect though, because they're both powerful women too. You know, Oprah Winfrey and Amanda Waller. So, but yeah. But other than that, you guys, I'm definitely excited to see what the new films are going to hold. It should be really good. And like I said, I think with the new Flashpoint that's going to come out, it's going to reset the whole universe, which I believe will lead to the new DCU franchise as well, though. So, and it makes sense. If they can actually do the same thing with Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comics, especially with Sonic rebooting the entire universe, they'll definitely do the exact same thing because the similarities are actually there. Because you got Sonic and the Flash, they're both two speed demons, basically, two of the fastest individuals alive. So they practically can go so fast to the point to where they can pretty much rewrite reality. So it definitely will make sense, though. Although, of course, behind the scenes, of course, was what happened with Ken Panders, of him suing Sega because of the fact that he didn't actually acknowledge the characters that Ken had created, though. So it did upset some fans for sure, though. So I definitely understand that, too, because some of the characters that Ken created for Sega, they're definitely epic, too. Like Robo Hedge the Hedgehog, actually the cousin of Amy Rose. That's just incredible. And more than likely, we're going to definitely see Amy Rose in Sonic 3. I believe she'll definitely show up along with Rouge the Black. So we'll get to that another time too, though. So, but that's another review entirely, though. So, but other than that, you guys, that's the lineup so far with the new DCU movies and the DCU TV shows that James Gunn has lined up. It's pretty good. I'm definitely excited to see what he's going to do. I know some people are kind of etchy as far as like what's going to happen with the characters or what's happening with the shows and TV shows themselves. But if you can just think about it, I mean, I believe in the process of James Gunn. I think it's going to be pretty good, especially given his track record with Marvel Studios. I think it's going to be just fine, though. Like I said, I need to cosplay as James Gunn myself. Like, get my spiky hair. We dress the same, too. So it's like, hey, why not, right? But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do y'all think? Are you guys excited about the new DCU? I know some of y'all are kind of concerned about where this is going to go. But I think that it's going to be... I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it is, though. So, but, hey, we got Rotten Tomatoes, so we'll see how it goes. But I like James Gunn. I think he's going to do just fine. And it should be pretty good, you guys. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. But like I said, I know there's been some concern with y'all as far as like how this is going to go. Because one of you guys write to me, especially SWAT Rock wrote to me and told me that, you know, he's kind of a little bit iffy as far as like what's going to happen. I had a couple of girls told me the exact same thing too, as far as like what's going to happen. But I think we should be fine though, as far as like what the process is going to go though. So, but anyway, guys, I love y'all. Again, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. I'll even post an article in the bottom of the description, so you guys will be able to see that as well. So, yeah, it should be an interesting time for the DCU. This is definitely what they need for sure. Hopefully, it won't be as similar as Marvel, but DC is about as epic as Marvel as far as the comic lore anyway, and the animation. But the movies, they definitely need to get this right. And if anybody can do it, it's James Gunn himself. So here's hoping. So my best wishes to James Gunn and Peter Safran. You guys see this video? I'm a huge fan. I'm speaking as a fan. If you guys need some help, let me know. I can help you out tremendously with the characters and the story mode from one geek to another, from one nerd to another, you guys. So yeah, James, Peter, one nerd to another. Wish you guys the best though, seriously. But if you need my input, just let me know. But anyway, guys, let me know what y'all guys think in the comments down below. Thank y'all so much for everything. I love y'all. Make sure y'all continue to love each other, spread love, be good to one another. Y'all take it easy, and I'll have more information as far as like everything else goes. I'll be the first one to report it every time. So like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Excelsior. I'll catch you guys in the next one.